Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4. I finally beat the game, and I just wanted to give my full review by actually finishing the game. And I think I'm about 97% done with everything. I have to go back and do a couple of side missions to get the Platinum Trophy. But I've played probably, 30 hours in this game. I was splitting time between this and Destiny 2, so that's why it took so long for me to complete. But I finally finished the game last night, and it's a lot of fun. I must say, it is a lot of fun. I'm sure you've seen in all the other reviews and previews that you've seen of this game that it's a good game. To me, it's behind Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, so it's like the third best superhero video game, but it doesn't take away from the brilliance that Insomniac has done with Spider-Man. Moving around is fantastic. The swinging mechanics, it takes a little bit to get used to, but swinging, and then you can like dive off buildings, and you could do little tricks in the air and stuff like that. That gives you a little bit of experience. I think they did a great job recreating the city. Everything takes place in Manhattan. So, they have it broken up into different sections of Manhattan. So you have Harlem, you have the Upper East Side, you have Midtown, Hell's Kitchen, Greenwich, financial district, and they do have landmarks. Everything is not detailed, but they have certain landmarks there. You can take pictures of the landmarks. That's like one of the side quests you can do. So you see things like Madison Square Garden or the Guggenheim Museum. And then they have the Easter eggs for, the comic fans. So you see Avengers Tower, the Alias office, even Matt Murdock's law firm, stuff like that, as you swing around the city. And even certain sections of the city, if you go there, you're like, oh, this is, they have Lincoln Center that's located in the Upper West Side. So, they have things like that, especially if you're a New Yorker. It's really cool seeing as you swing around. In terms of the things to do in the game, the map is open from the start. You can't see everything on the map until you hit up these Oscorp towers. So it's like if you play Assassin's Creed and you reach the top of something, you can just unlock certain parts of the city. So that's basically what the Oscorp towers are. They're in different locations, like 3 or 4 in each location. When you get them all, you unlock more of the map where you can see the landmarks, or you see the backpacks. Backpacks are the collectibles. Each time you collect it, there's something in the backpack that Peter will talk about, from his past. He's been Spider-Man for 8 years, so he has a lot of history with, all the villains and stuff like that. The backpacks, the landmarks, there's also challenges and research stations. All these things give you tokens. They're like your resources. And you use those tokens to unlock suits, upgrade gadgets and stuff like that. Your suits, I pre-ordered the game, so I had a few suits unlocked, but you get suits when you level up. The suits usually come with an ability. So you have stuff like when you unlock it, it gives you more focus, or there's an ability where you just jump up and you web everybody around you, more damage. They have like the spider arms, like in Infinity War, that they can come out and give you more damage, stuff like that. It just gives you a little boost when you get your focus up. So it's a cool thing to look forward to when you unlock a suit. A really cool thing for me is that when you change your suit, it appears in the cutscene, in the next cutscene that you have. It doesn't matter what suit you have on. It doesn't matter the cutscene. You have that suit on that you wanted to wear, and that is really cool. Just interacting with different characters in the game, and just seeing a different suit, and it just looks so good. It looks so clean. There's a bunch of characters that you come across in this game. Some very minor, just basically by name. Mary Jane is in the game. You do play as Mary Jane a few times, and that. At times, I didn't really like it. At times, it did make sense, but other times, I was like, let's go in there and let's fight. And then they'd be like, okay, you're going to play as Mary Jane. And you sneak around with her, you distract people, and you try to get to a location. It does play out pretty well in one particular scene where Mary Jane is somewhere and she calls Spider-Man. So like you're playing as Mary Jane, but you see Spider-Man like moving around in the location. So it's pretty cool. And then like you're like targeting people for Spider-Man to take out. So it's like a 2-man team thing. So that was pretty cool when you was moving around as Mary Jane. Miles Morales is in the game. I don't want to give anything away about that, but he's in the game. You have conversations with him as well. Of course, you know, Aunt May and everything like that. In all the previews, you have this guy named Mr. Negative. He's doing stuff around the city after the Kingpin is arrested. And the Kingpin is the first really fight that you have in this game. They throw you in immediately into action. Like when you start the game, you go out and you're chasing cars, and then it's like, go to Kingpin's apartment, and then, you know, you have to fight him. The fighting it might be the weakest part of the game to me, honestly. It's like you have these abilities, but you don't really evolve your combat as you level up. You get more gadgets, you unlock skills, but they're like minor things. Like you can yank a gun from somebody, or you can yank a gun and hit them with it now. You know, it's not, you don't get like new combos and stuff like that. It's basically the same combat from the beginning. You know, you hold square to knock them in the air, triangle to grab them out the air, triangle to web swing across to hit somebody, and basically like that. As you unlock gadgets, the gadgets play a part more in the combat. You know, you get impact web, you get the trip lines, you get the web bomb, where if you hit one person, it'll explode and hit everybody else. You have electric webs to, you know, stop like the bigger enemies and stuff like that. As you level up, you get more regular web shooters, so you can web people to the wall. And, you know, the gadgets play more of a part in the combat rather than you getting new combos in combat. So it feels vaguely the same as you're going, you know, through the story and you're fighting. So that's like a weak part to me, in terms of like combat in this game. It doesn't evolve as much, even though you do unlock new skills and abilities. I like a lot of the extra things added to the web swinging, where you run up walls and you get a boost if you zip line to a certain, you know, to a spot and you time it right. You can get a speed boost and stuff like that. There's benchmarks in this game, of course, as you wall run, as you fight, as you use your finishers, you get like a little bit experience as you hit each benchmark. Another thing that I do enjoy about like the progression of the game, as you unlock different gadgets and abilities, you can use them against the bosses that you fight. The boss fights aren't very different, but they allow you to use your abilities. You know, you play games where sometimes you acquire these new abilities and these new gadgets and everything, and you love using them, and then when you come up against the boss, none of the stuff works. Like you fight a boss and then it's like everything you acquired doesn't work. None of your special abilities work. None of your finishing moves work. But in this game, you're encouraged to use your web abilities against the bosses to maybe stun them, or you can pick up stuff and throw it at the boss, and it works against like all the bosses. Like you're encouraged to use that, and that's really cool that everything you work to acquire, you can actually use in all the boss fights, even like the boss fights towards the end of the game. You know, I don't want to give anything away about the story, but it gets good. It's really good. Like as you start playing more and more and things start developing, the story is really good, and it's very satisfying and rewarding once you finish the game. This game, you can get easily distracted with side missions. As you're swinging around, crimes are happening, and there's different crimes in different in each district. There's a certain amount of crimes you can stop, and you know that's like to get tokens, and that also leads to like to get trophies at the end of the game. But as the story progresses, more crimes show up in each district, and there's different bases to take down and stuff like that. Kingpin has his own facilities, and you know the demons have their own facilities. So as you continue with the story, you unlock things like that, and that's a lot of fun. And it's so easy to get distracted because you're just swinging and you're getting the hang of it, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to do the story mission, and then there's a crime, and you go stop the crime, get your little tokens, and then you're like, oh, there's a landmark right here, and then you go take a picture of the landmark, and then you're like, oh, there's a backpack here, oh, there's a tower here, and then next thing you know, 40 minutes has went by and you didn't make it to the story yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of fun getting distracted, honestly. And I spent a lot of time just swinging around the city, just trying to get to the backpacks. They're all on the map, so there's no like trouble finding them. Same thing with the landmarks; they're all on the map. But it is a lot of fun. It's a game. To me, it's my second favorite game this year. I would still put God of War ahead of it, just in terms of like the combat and the story. To me, in God of War was better. But Spider-Man is a lot of fun if you like running around, if you like, just moving around the city environment, and you can get into combat and that's not complex. This is a game for you. It's one of the best games that has come out this year. One of the best games for PlayStation. Again, it's a step in the right direction for superhero video games, along with the Batman Arkham series. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if there will be a sequel or a DLC, but I hope there is, because it's just fun switching suits, using different gadgets, using the different abilities with your suit, and just interacting with all the characters in this game. Again, put in probably like 30 to 40 hours. I was splitting time with another game. You can really get in here and have a lot of fun, and you won't be disappointed paying full price for it. So that's my review for Spider-Man PS4. Go get it. Have some fun swinging around the city. Thank you for listening. Deuces.